Hello, everybody, and welcome into another season preview show here at the Hockey Writers YouTube channel. I'm your host, Matthew Zator, and we are going with the Detroit Red Wings in this one. I've got Jordan Orth, who covers the Red Wings, covers the Penguins. You'll see him on another video coming up as well. Jordan, how's it going?
It's going good. Football season's in full swing, which means hockey's coming, so it's a good time of the year.
Yes, and the off season's been too long. We're finally getting too close to training camps. A lot of them start in the next few days, so it's going to be a lot more coverage, a lot more fun stuff. So great time to do a preview. So let's jump into the Red Wings. And this team has gotten quite a few changes in the offseason. Biggest one is to their crease, but we'll talk about that later. Let's start out with the forward group, which didn't see major changes, but a couple guys coming in. Mason Appleton and James Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk is not the guy that he used to be. Of course, he's more of a depth forward, but Appleton, very good penalty killer, and also adds to that bottom six. What do you think about these two new additions?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with Appleton. He's definitely going to be a player who's going to be kind of plays more like a comforter cop type of game. Like you said, being a penalty killer, kind of being that bottom six where he's going to grind it out, give those top six guys a little bit of a break. Maybe add some secondary scoring. I mean, he's got the playoff experience too. Fingers crossed we can get there at some point, hopefully here this year. But I think he had some good value in the bottom six. And then, like you said, Van Riemsdyk, I mean, he's the same draft class as Kane. I mean, neither of them are necessarily the same player they used to be. Granted, we've been lucky with Kane staying healthy and playing how he has, but he's another one. I feel like he might be more of like your Perron type of player who can give you not as much production as Perron did when he was with the Wings, but something to that level and kind of fill the role they were hoping maybe Tarasenko was last year. So
yeah, I think so too. I mean, Tarasenko didn't really work out. I mean, he was okay, but he wasn't. Of course, he's also not the player he used to be as well. Van Riemsdyk, though, he's very good in Columbus. Again, that veteran leadership, veteran presence. He can still score goals. He's, I mean, he's of course not scoring as much, but may add a bit to that bottom half of the line, maybe the middle half of it. And Appleton, like you said, is one of those good guys that they're good. He's a good utility player. He can go up and down the lineup too. So
yeah, and Yzerman seems to kind of like those kind of guys. You can see you've seen him, the guys he's signed in the past, whether it's like someone like Adam Ernie or guys like that. He has a type of player that he likes in that middle to bottom six type of role. So
yeah. So I mean, I think they're both going to add something to the team, and we'll see how much. But they're not going to be big needle movers, but you need these types of guys in the lineup as well. All right, moving to the rest of the forward group, of course, led by the big guys still. You got Lucas Raymond probably taking another step that he did, but last season he took an extra step again. You're looking at, very good top six. What do you think for storylines, burning questions heading into training camp?
I think the big question in the top six is who's going to be that third guy on that top line with Larkin and Raymond, whether it's someone like maybe an Elmer Sloterblom, who at times last year when he got the chances showed the capability to play on a line like that. I mean, you got a guy who's almost 6'8". I mean, he can do a lot of things guys can't do. So if you put a guy like that who can go to the corners, go to the front of the net, I mean, he could pick up points just by standing in front of the net, tipping shots or redirecting, whatever. Is it someone like him? Is it someone like – it could be anybody. I mean, you could get a rookie that comes into camp and surprises everybody and makes a play at making the roster. But that's a big question mark for me. Another one is, does Kane continue to stay healthy? Like I said earlier, we've gotten lucky so far that he has been able to do that after the surgery. But time could end up catching up to him, and fingers crossed it doesn't, because he's been very, very good for the Wings with alongside his buddy DeBrincat so far. But I think you look at the bottom six, is there anybody that can work their way from Grand Rapids into those spots? Do you want someone to play in those spots instead of playing quality minutes in Grand Rapids? Like a Carter Mazur, who got some bad luck with his first game last year, obviously getting hurt, but you got a handful of kids who could make a push for a spot, but it really comes down to, does McClellan want them to play those minutes, limited minutes, instead of playing more quality and important minutes to develop their game even farther.
I mean, like looking at guys like Marco Kasper might take an extra, bigger role this season as well, which, I mean, he showed well when he was in the lineup last season. So, I mean, you're looking at him. You got Nate Danielson, had a pretty good season in the AHL. I mean, he can maybe fit into that bottom six at some point. So, I mean, yeah, there's some guys that could potentially do it, but yeah, it's pretty full lineup when you're looking at it. And you're looking at, Patrick Kane is still pretty productive guy, like you said, for a guy that's, kind of worried about him when he had the hip surgery, and like, well, is he going to be able to be a productive guy? That seems to be, and he's still going strong with the Red Wings. So, and not everyone was sure he was going to even keep going.
Right. I mean, you haven't seen a whole lot of success with that hip surgery and players continuing to play afterwards. Yeah. So far, so good. Like I said, yeah. I don't like using the fingers crossed method, but so far, that's what we're going with right now. So, yeah, got to keep hoping that it'll still hold up, right? So, we'll see if he stays healthy this season, because I mean, it doesn't matter what age he is in the lineup. Patrick Kane, you still want him, right?
He's still pretty big,
whether
guy.
It's once in a game highlight move, or just the fact he's on the ice brings enough attention to himself to help guys like DeBrincat or whoever else is going to be on that second line with him too. You don't know who's going to fill in that role. Is it you don't really know. I mean, your four guys in Larkin, Raymond, Kane, and DeBrincat don't necessarily know 100%. Obviously, someone like Kasper will probably fill that second role center spot. Like you said, the way he played last year leads me to believe that he could be, I don't want to say taking a jump like Raymond did, but maybe a step below that, where he takes a step to becoming a 20-goal scorer and a 20-assist guy, maybe reaching that 40 to 50-point range if he gets the quality playing time and can further develop his game alongside guys like Kane and DeBrincat.
Yeah, then that line could be pretty good. We'll see who kind of fills that second line role for sure. All right, let's move to the defense, which saw a couple new additions. Again, not needle movers, but Jacob Bernard-Docker, Travis Hamonic. Hamonic wasn't that long ago when he signed. Bernard-Docker, I believe, was pretty early.
Yeah, he was pretty early on in free agency.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think about these two now? I mean, two opposite ends of the spectrum. You got a really veteran guy, and Bernard-Docker is still pretty young,
right?
Coming in from Senators, right?
I think if Bernard-Docker, if he can establish himself in the lineup, he hasn't. I mean, he was with Ottawa and Buffalo last year.
Yeah,
he really never got to establish himself to this point in his career. If he can, it's almost like a prove it deal, kind of like it was for Gostisbehere. Obviously, a little, like you said, opposite ends of the spectrum. Gostisbehere had been in the league for a little bit longer too, but I think if he can work his way into the lineup and prove that, hey, I can do this every night, whether it's third pair minutes or I don't think he'll end up playing second pair. I think those top four, kind of like the forwards, are set. But if he can, I mean, you look at guys that they had last year cycling in, Gustafson and Hall. If he can be better than that, him coming to Detroit would be a win both for him and the organization, because he can build off that, whether it's re-signing with the team or going elsewhere and getting himself a bigger contract. And then Hamonic, honestly, he'd probably be a depth, in my mind, a depth player who could fill in if you need him to. It's kind of a log jam back there with all the, like I said, with the Halls and the Gustafsons. Everybody wanted Eichmann to go out and, we need to get somebody. And then you see the price that Carolina pays for Keandre Miller. Yeah. And then don't think he wanted to pay that steep of a price. So, but overall, the defense, it might have been good to get a little bit more, I don't want to say skill, but impactful players on the back end with what you had last year, but we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I mean, I believe they were in on Noah Dobson too, right?
Yes.
I mean, and that was a pretty big price that Montreal paid. So, I mean, it seems like he didn't want to pay that either. They got guys like Axel Sandin-Pellikka coming up. I mean, they've got that dynamic offensive defenseman pretty soon. He's going to be in the lineup. So, and of course, Simon Edvinsson, I think, has a lot more offense in his game. So, I mean, maybe if there was a good deal coming out, I think Eisman probably would go for it. But when you're looking at the prices that were out there, and K'Andre Miller has a pretty big, steep price too, you just felt that it wasn't there, right? So
yeah, he's made it known he's not gonna necessarily mortgage the future for a player that, I mean, yeah, K'Andre Miller's going to be in Carolina's lineup for quite a few years, especially after the extension he signed, but you still don't want to give up. I mean, they might have been looking at someone like Sandin Pellikka in the trade. Well, you don't want to give someone up like that on top of picks, you know. You don't want to go down that road and then it backfired on you big time. So
yeah, I mean, you don't want to give up. he's probably going to end up being at the level. I don't ever want, always saying Quinn Hughes and all that, but he's like one of the best defensemen in the league. But, in that kind of realm, a really good offensive defenseman that can hit the 70-point-ish, right? And he has that ability. So, I mean, we'll see when he does get into the NHL.
Right.
All right. Looking at this is where we'll go into the goaltending, which has a new guy. And this is probably their, I don't know, I want to say their best goaltender in a long time.
Yes.
John Gibson coming in from the Anaheim Ducks. Cam Talbot being his backup. But the big name is Gibson. What impact is he going to have on this team? Which, I mean, like, he hasn't had a legit number one, I would say, for like at least 5 or 6 seasons, maybe even longer.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking maybe back till maybe when Jimmy Howard was still playing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it's been kind of a revolving door, but the biggest thing for Gibson is, can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy and play the way he has when he is healthy, it's going to be a big impact on the team. Because, I mean, you look at Cam Talbot. He's a veteran too. He had a good year last year. And that was with some spotty defense here and there from the guys in front of him. So if you get a guy who's coming in, maybe wanting to prove a point, saying, look, I can still play. I can stay healthy. I can still do it at an elite level. I don't want to say elite, a high-end level.
Yeah.
But if he can come in and do that, I think that's going to elevate the play of the team in front of him, and it's going to give him that energy and a little bit more confidence in front of him to say, okay, we've got someone behind us that we know we can rely on to, if we make a mistake, he's going to bail us out if he has to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like you said, they've been missing that for quite a while.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big question mark is the health, because Gibson hasn't played full seasons in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
It's been a while. So, I mean, if he's healthy, he's shown whenever he's been in the lineup for the Ducks, he's shown to be a Vezina caliber type goaltender. And he's going to have a way better defense in front of him, probably the best defense he's had ever in his career. Nothing against the Ducks defense, who's actually getting to be pretty good. Still quite young, though. But you're looking at a Red Wings defense, it's actually better. I mean, some fans may argue that maybe it's not, it doesn't always show that, but I think it is a better defense than the Ducks for sure. Cam Talbot as well. I mean, I think he can step in, but I think Gibson's a big difference maker here.
I think the two can create a good 1-2 duo. I mean, like you said, Talbot had a solid year last year. He didn't look out of place. He looked better. Again, it's been the revolving door, and he probably has been the best they've had in a couple of years, consistency-wise, with what he did last year. So, like you said, if things don't work out with Gibson's health, at least you have that to fall back on.
Yeah. I mean, you'd want this to be a good tandem, though, because I think Gibson, even if he is, like, he's a clear-cut, of course, starter, but you don't want him to be playing too much, because that, again, will make more risk for an injury.
Right.
So if they can maybe a good split for 1A, 1B, I think that's a good thing. I'm not sure about McClellan. How is he going to do it? He doesn't, in his career, in his 10 years, I don't think he really always relies on one goaltender, but yeah, we'll see how
I mean, goes. You don't really see it a whole lot in the league anymore either. You don't see goalies playing 65, 70 games anymore. You see that 1A, like you said, 1A, 1B kind of mix to take the burden off of one guy. Because, I mean, there's plenty of talent in the league. It's just hard finding those two goalies you want, and you're not. Yeah. So if you can find them, most of the time you keep them for as long as you possibly can. So,
yeah. We'll see how long Talbot stays in the league. I mean, he is up there in age, right? So,
right.
But the Red Wings, of course, have multiples of really good young goaltenders that are coming up. Trey Augustine, Sebastian Cossa. Those two guys are are on the cusp. So, I mean, Gibson, I think, just has to hold down the fort probably for the next few seasons, and then you've got those two coming. So, which they'll probably come up in the prospects section there.
Good little teaser.
Yeah. All right. Let's move to our quick fire round here, and we'll start with the division, which I always say with the Atlanta division is a very interesting one. And the Red Wings are always in that mix of saying, are they going to make the playoffs? Are they going to be in there? They're going to take that next step this season. The Ottawa Senators did last season. The Montreal Canadiens did last season. Is this the season the Red Wings do? Where do you see them in the division?
Optimistically, yeah, I'd like to see. I'd like to say, yeah, they're going to be the Ottawa or the Montreal this year. But the biggest issue is that Montreal's got a young roster they're forming that core group, kind of like Toronto did. Granted, Toronto, not trying to step on Maple Leafs toes, it didn't work out the greatest. But I mean, Toronto, they lose Marner. I mean, they're still going to have the horses to do what they need to. So I mean, I can see them being kind of middle of the pack. I think you're still going to be ahead of a team like Buffalo. Boston's definitely going to be looking to bounce back after how they were last year. But, I mean, with the fact that you weren't necessarily able to take that next jump to improve their defense is one of the biggest reasons I don't think they're going to make a huge jump in the standing. I think they'll be right there at the wild card. Mm-hmm. As long as everything goes smooth and injuries stay out of the picture, which obviously never happens, but limit it as much as possible. So I could see him being right in the middle of the pack, trying to push for that wild card spot. So
basically how they've been in the last few seasons.
Right.
and that one time where it was just one day that they could have so close. All right. Next one is the biggest. What do you think is the biggest storyline going into this season? We've mentioned a few things, but what do you think is the biggest one?
Mine is, do they end the skid? Do they finally make the playoffs? You get to your centennial season. I mean, you got the new jerseys that just came out today. Great looking jerseys, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you got that, and I think you could look at, does Lucas Raymond take that next step to being a bona fide superstar in the league? I think he's got every tool in the book or in the bag to do it. The way he made the jump last year, whether it was scoring goals, I mean, he does it all.
Yeah.
And being able to take that next jump will push the Wings to that next level. Does he kind of stay stagnant? Does he make the next jump? Does he come back to earth? I mean, that's a big, for me, one of the biggest question marks or storylines to watch too, outside of, do they end the skid?
Yeah, Raymond is one of those guys who's just, that season, was it last or the previous season, where it's like he had, when Larkin was hurt, and he basically took the reins and just blew up in the last month or so of the season, and he was just unreal. And last season he was really good too. So I mean, he might come up in this next question actually. So we'll go there. Breakout stars. Who do you see? I mean, Raymond arguably maybe has broken out, but who do you see as maybe being the biggest one this season?
I think it's going to be Casper. Like I said, I don't think he's going to take that to the level that Raymond did, but I think he's going to become that number 2 center that the Wings are going to look for the next 8-9 years.
Yeah,
I think he's going to give, like I said, he could in my mind push for even 20 to 25 goals if he can do that alongside of a guy, like if he fills that second line role with Kane and DeBrincat. Those two guys are going to benefit from the way he plays. I really think he's going to take that next jump this year.
I see it too. I think he's one of those guys that I've liked since he was drafted. He's very good, not just offense, but he's a good two-way guy too.
Yeah, so, another one of those, like those two-way guys that Yzerman seems to love to draft all the time. So
yeah,
he's got a type of player he wants in the organization, which isn't a bad thing.
No, and then you got Danielson coming up, which I think he's going to fit into that third line really well. I mean, I always compare him to Bo Horvat. He's that type of guy. He's not flashy, but he will just get everything done. He'll just do everything. Might surprise with some goals. Like Horvat's become a 30-goal scorer. I didn't see that from him. So, I mean, Danielson could end up being that too. All right. Now looking at guys that need to bounce back, who do you think needs to bounce back the most?
I mean, you look, there's a handful, there's a couple of guys. I mean, you look at someone like Michael Rasmussen, who's, whether it's been injuries or just not being able to perform. I mean, he was a top 15 pick when he got drafted, and he just really hasn't been able to take that to the next level offensively. Mm-hmm. Whether it's he's a big player. He's not as big as someone like Soderblom or anybody like that, but he's showing flashes. But he needs to be able to, I don't want to say necessarily 100% bounce back. He just needs to find that center point, that consistency to become, whether it's a third line guy or a fourth line guy, being able to have someone you can count on a little more consistently in that role. I think he could, if he could bounce back again. I mean, it's all about just finding your role. And at this point in his career, it's kind of the point where he's going to have to, or what are you going to do with him? I mean, you got kids down in Grand Rapids or in your system that could take a role like that. And he could be, I don't want to say he's on the outs if he doesn't play well, but I mean, it's always, you never know, Elijah. I mean, he could wake up tomorrow and some big move happens. So
yeah. I mean, we never know what he's doing. Never know what's in his head. All of a sudden, just something happens. Like, oh, okay. But he definitely, I mean, especially with so many prospects coming, some of these guys are just getting pushed out, like Joe Veleno. I mean, it was just a matter of time, and it ended up being his time was last season done. I think it could end up being that way as well. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to watch him for sure. All right, what do you see for potential X factors? It doesn't have to be a player; it can be a situation as well. What do you got?
I think seeing a full season of Todd McClellan behind the bench. We saw what he did when he took over from Lalone. It looked different, and it seemed to bring a little bit more energy to the team, a little change of scenery, a little bit of new voice in the locker room. I think a full season of him being in the locker room, leading it, is going to be a big thing for the entire season. I think you get him fully established in what he wants, how he wants it, and get everybody on the same page. A full off season of being with the organization again, and just working with guys. I think that's one of the biggest things that's going to be an X factor.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And at training camp and, start right from the beginning. That's a big deal. It's with different coaches in the past. It's always something that changes things. It's different coming in mid-season and starting from day one, the whole thing. So yeah, that's going to be something to watch. All right. Well, we alluded to prospects. Let's talk about them now. And rookies prospect, who do you see and maybe a surprising guy that you're really not expecting to do anything right now, but that might do it in training camp in the preseason here?
I guess I wouldn't say – I've got two of them. I wouldn't say one of them's a major surprise. Nate Danielson, I mean, the prospect games they did against Dallas, he looked really good in both of them. He showed, like you said, the two-way game. He's starting to pick up that offensive production. I think he could maybe force his way in, like you said, that third line or fourth line role. But again, it really depends, again, on if they want him to play them kind of minutes or go to Grand Rapids, play first line minutes. Mm-hmm. And the other one is Amadeus Lombardi. Everybody's loved him since he's gotten drafted. Being able to keep him in state from playing in Flint in the OHL and watching him, I think that he just brings a different element to the game. He's all over the ice. And he filled in this weekend for the prospects games again. And I mean, I think he's on that edge of being able to push for a spot, whether it's this year or next year. I think it's only a matter of time before he makes the roster in the very near future, in my mind. Yeah.
I've loved him as a prospect for a number of years as well. I mean, when I hosted Grindline, we talked about him a lot. He is a very interesting guy, and yeah, he can be flashy as well. So I think we'll see where he kind of fits in. But yeah, that's a guy to watch during training camp preseason here. All right, of the many prospects that the Red Wings have in their system, who should everyone be watching? Obviously, you're watching everyone, but who do you think the most kind of look at?
I think you got to look at probably Sebastian Cossa just to see if he can. It's another one of those guys that needs that consistency. And I mean, in that in Grand Rapids. He's shown very good flashes throughout his time down there, but being able to show he can be that true number one goalie, because like you said, you got Trey Augustine at Michigan State. Mm-hmm. You just drafted one this year. You got a handful of them that they can't have enough goalies, I guess, if you're Steve Yzerman. He loves them. So I mean, you got guys pushing for spots potentially down the road. So he's going to have to take that next jump, I believe, to prove, okay, I'm going to be the guy. Mm-hmm. Whether it's he gets a couple games again like he did last year, or he just plays well in Grand Rapids, kind of like Archer Solvis. How do I say that name? Shelovs.
Yeah.
Like he did with Abbotsford last year. He looked great down there. If he can do something like that, I don't want to say they've lost faith in him, or the fans have, but it fully brings that, okay, it's going to be Kosa and Augustine as that future goaltending tandem.
Yeah, Kosa, I think he's started to become more of the confidence is building. It's built a lot more since he had that couple seasons where he wasn't that good. And then the AHL last season was pretty good. And previous season he was pretty good too. But yeah, if he takes that next step and becomes MVP, like the Calder Cup playoffs, that's a big deal. He has that ability. But I mean, I think he's kind of pulled ahead of Wallstedt a little bit in my mind. But I mean, and of course he was drafted ahead of him. And Augustine, he's just blew up the NCAA in the last, since he's been there.
All he knows to do is win. I mean,
yeah. And his goals against average keeps going down, and save percentage keeps going up.
Yep.
That's going to be a guy that's really interesting to watch when he hits the AHL, because if he becomes like with Jacob Fowler's and other guys just been doing the same thing, and he's kind of mirroring him in the NCAA, the two of the best goalies in college. Now he's the only one. But yeah, I think those two goalies are going to be ones to watch again this season. All right, let's look at this is a quick one, and it could be quick. Some teams are different, are easier than others to pick this one. But who's leading the defense and forwards in scoring?
I think you look at goal-wise, I think Lucas Raymond takes that one this year. No, not Raymond. We'll go to Brinkett with getting to 39 last year. I had Raymond in my head for some reason, but I think the Brinkett finally ends that skid of them not having a 40-goal scorer. I think he does it this year. Like I said, he had 39 last year. I think you get a full season of both. Again, you get him, Kane, and Casper together. They all feed off each other. And with the shot that he's got, I don't think there's any doubt that he could reach 40 this year.
Yeah, I see it too. Yeah,
I think he leads the way in that. I think you look at someone like Raymond for assists, or Larkin feeding off of each other. Mm-hmm. So they both have the vision on the ice to find whoever, whether it's power play or 5-on-5. They've got the knack for finding the right guy at the right time. So, and then we got defense. I think you're looking. You don't really have a whole lot of offensive defensemen on the team, like you said. Edvinsson, he's shown it. So I think it's going to be a toss-up between him and Zator, because Zator's offense seems to be catching up with his overall defensive game.
Yeah.
So I think you look at those two guys. Obviously, those will be the two big names to keep an eye on scoring-wise for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think, once Axel Sandin-Pellikka gets in the mix, that'll change a bit. We'll see. Maybe I'm hyping him too much, but I think he's going to end up being that type of guy that'll lead the defense in scoring. So, but that's not going to be this year. All right. Final thing. I love the bold predictions. So what do you got for a bold prediction for this season?
We're going to stick with the Casper theme. I think a bold prediction for me, I think he has the potential to reach 30 this year. So I think there's a chance he can do it. And then I've got them making a move at the deadline I saw today that Kyle Connor wants to stay with the Jets, but if Yzerman wants to get a guy and he can get a deal done with them, because obviously being a free agent, you're not going to give up the assets just to, here you go walk the free agency. If you can get someone like that, I think he takes a shot at someone like that to solidify that top six if things don't work out with, say, a Soderblom or a Rasmussen or even a Van Riemsdyk playing on that first or second line with those guys.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see Casper 30 goals be a pretty big thing. But yeah, bold prediction. So definitely we'll see if that happens. Kyle Connor coming to Detroit, that'd be a really big deal. But we'll see. We'll see how that all goes in Winnipeg if he does stay there. All right. Well, that's the Red Wings coming up. We'll see how it all goes. I'm excited. I mean, I'm always excited because the Red Wings have a really good team. They seem to have really good teams coming. I mean, their offense is always there. They always got exciting players to watch. It's just, does everything come together at the same time? It's offense, defense, and the goaltending, and it doesn't always seem to happen.
Right.
But we'll see. John Gibson might be the missing piece to plug in, and we'll see if that's the case. But thanks, Jordan, for coming on, talking the Red Wings as we continue waiting until the regular season starts, which is coming up. We're less than a month away from the season starting, which is great news. So make sure to check out everything at thehockeyriders.com. We've got great preview stuff, preview content in video form and article form, lots of fun stuff there. Substacks, you can take a look at those as well. And subscribe if you haven't already. And but until our next one, we will see you next time.